fun.
Hello, world, and welcome to Post Credits Commentary, a podcast where we make commentary post-credits.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Allison.
Join us weekly as we give you our unfiltered opinions and hottest takes on recently watched films.
And spoiler alert, there will be spoilers.
Grab your popcorn, silence your phones, and let's roll the tape. Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Post Credits Commentary. This week, we figured we'd do something a little bit different. I'm bringing you guys a little bit shorter of an episode. As for, at the time of recording, I'm going on vacation, so I'm not available to do a full movie review. So let's do a little smaller episode, test the waters, see how you guys like these little shorter episodes, more fun episodes. This week, we're going to do our 5 movies of 2025 and top 5 movies of 2025 so far. We obviously have about a half a year to go. This is a fun thing to do, too, at about the halfway point of the year, being July. So, with that said, we will jump on in to our lists. We'll do the bottom 5 first.
Starting with the worst of the worst.
No, we'll go 5 to the worst, then we'll do 5 to the best.
Okay.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right. Good. I can boo right off the bat.
Okay.
What's your number 5, Allison?
My 5th worst movie of the year so far is Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Boo!
Alright. I will now caveat by saying I've only seen about 20-some movies this year, so...
Maybe this is a caveat we should say.
Both of us?
I think I've seen even less. I will pick up as we get near the end of the year. With Oscar season coming up, it tends to be when I pick up on watching more movies, especially as more come available on streaming as well. So we haven't seen a ton of movies, but we've seen a lot of the blockbusters, I feel like. So, sorry, continue. Good caveat to have.
Yeah. So, Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up. Another caveat, I guess, to say that some of the movies on both of our lists we may not have discussed on the podcast.
Also true.
When we get to my top 5, almost every single one we have discussed. But Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, we did not discuss this one. And even though it is my 5th worst movie of the year so far, I still gave it a 3 out of 5 star rating. Okay? It's not a bad movie. It's an above average movie. It's just not a great movie. Alright. Alright, it's fine. Again, it's not a bad movie. I remember it being very funny. Very much Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Why didn't you like it?
It's not that I did like it, because I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but what didn't make it more than a 3 out of 5?
I mean, it's a Looney Tunes movie, so, it's only so much it can give me, right? First off, I don't know, I just feel like it's, for what it was supposed to do, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny Looney Tunes movie.
The farmer gag is still my favorite thing of all time. When the farmer and all of his art, and he walks, but he just hops.
There are definitely some pretty funny parts. That's probably why I got a 3. Also, humor, comedy usually isn't one of my biggest genres.
True.
So, for me, giving it a 3 is actually pretty good. You have any comments on Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes is not in my bottom 5, nor is it in my top 5. I think it's a fun movie. I absolutely adored Looney Tunes growing up. I played all of their video games too, and it's just classic Looney Tunes humor that I love so much. I believe I gave it a 3.5.
That sounds familiar.
So, a little bit better than you. But yeah, it wasn't quite good enough to get to my top 5. Definitely wasn't bad at all. Yeah, I thought the plot was enjoyable. It's super funny. The writing is quite clever, I would say. Really, my only complaint was that it kind of deals with Daffy and Porky, were
I also had this complaint.
Probably 2 of my lesser favorite Looney Tunes.
Almost none of the other ones were in the movie. I think we maybe got some of that one alien guy for 2 seconds.
Yeah, not Marvin.
No, the other guy who's in spaceship all the time.
Yeah, I can see who you're thinking of. I can't think of his name.
It's okay.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. Not good enough to make my top 5 list, but definitely not bad enough to make my bottom 5 list. So it was a fun movie. that I thoroughly enjoyed.
All right, let's get into your fifth worst movie of the year.
My fifth worst movie is one that we discussed on the pod, so congratulations to all the listeners. Yeah.
We didn't discuss this.
You know what I was doing? I was going backwards. That's on me.
And we just established the...
Sorry. My number one we discussed on the pod. My number five we did not discuss on the pod. This might be controversial. I don't really know. But my number five is the live action Snow White, because this is worse. This will not be a controversial take, actually.
What you say about it.
My controversial take is that the Snow White live action remake is actually not that bad. I think, again, I haven't seen a lot of bad movies yet this year, because I gave Snow White a 3 out of 5. I think it's an above average movie. I actually think it is pretty enjoyable. With that said, I don't remember much about the original Snow White, but I remember telling people that I guarantee you I would like this version of Snow White more than the other version, the original version, most likely. But what didn't I like about it? Because that's why it's ultimately on the worst of the year list so far. I gotta go right off the bat and talk about Gal Gadot's acting.
I knew you were going to go straight for that.
Yeah, because it's bad. And it's really unfortunate because I actually like a lot of the new songs that they wrote for this movie. Gal Gadot's song, the Evil Queen song in this, is kind of good, but she's the one singing it, so it's like less good.
Yeah, I don't know that singing is her strong suit.
Yeah. It's definitely not. Neither is acting.
She was decent in the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah, wasn't that good in all the others.
You know what?
Kal-El, no. I hate that line. What else didn't I love about it? I think it's just like, I don't know, it's just like okay.
I feel like there was some weird CGI stuff with...
Oh yeah, the dwarves situation.
But not even the decision to make them CGI, that's whatever, you know. But the CGI wasn't always good. Like, it was a little, I don't know. Not that it wasn't realistic, but like it was just awful.
I also could not really stand how they decided to wrap up the movie, where she just is like, I know all of you. And they're like, you're right, let's turn against the evil queen. That was a bit of a mess. Also, that girl that she gave her flower hat to, that she still had 20 years later, was absolutely crazy. Honestly, I feel like the acting in general could have been better across the board. I do think Rachel was good, though.
Yeah.
And she has a good singing voice.
Yes, she does.
I guess it's a good thing that Snow White is the best character in the Snow White film.
It'd be bad.
The dwarves kind of don't do anything. But again, this isn't Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's just Snow White. But
that's a fair point.
And then again, it's just not a faithful retelling of the original, which, as I've stated numerous times, I'm okay with. But I don't know if they did anything really special with the retelling, that it was just...
Yeah, that's true.
Look, I ended up liking it more than I thought I would. But with that said, it's not like sensational. It's good, and that's that.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I'm pretty sure I gave it the same rating as you.
Cool. So that's my number 5. My 5th worst movie. I guess me with my 4th worst is how we've been doing this. So I will go again. My 4th worst movie. I think it's funny our number 3s are the same. But we'll get there. Guys, for once, listeners, our lists aren't actually the exact same. Our tops are pretty close.
4 are essentially the same.
A little bit different of an order. Our bottom 5 worsts are different, though.
Yes.
Except for one, which is funny. But my number 4, this one might be a hot take, also not covered on the pod, is Mickey 17. Again, I think it's fine. I think I gave this one a 3, too. It's just there's not a lot of other worse movies that I saw this year so far. That could change. But Mickey 17, I think I ultimately left really disappointed. I really wanted to like it. Robert Pattinson is great in both of his roles. But I also think it's interesting that this movie, Robert Pattinson acting as two different roles, gets completely overshadowed by Sinners that came out a month later.
That's so true.
Because they did the same thing in Sinners, but better, I would.
Well, this one's, he's two different people, but he's kind of the same person.
Yeah, but they kind of make it a deal that they have two different personalities.
But they don't like express it enough as Sinners does.
I agree. I actually kind of dug the beginning of the movie a lot, the first half, I think I really enjoyed.
Do you think you had higher expectations for it because of who it was directed?
Yeah, I think so. Parasite that's the only thing I've seen of this guy, to clarify. But I love Parasite. I think it's so good. So yes, I do think I had higher expectations. Man, was I disappointed. I think a big issue of mine as well is, without getting super political, the Mark Ruffalo character. I just think I get what they're going for, but I just thought it was too much. It was too on the nose and it was too much for me. I found it so completely distracting, like so distracting for me personally.
I am curious. I wonder when they filmed that, or like when he wrote it, just how much of it is directly influenced by that.
I mean, the influence is there throughout the movie, but like Mark Ruffalo's character specifically is so distracting. Like I think he just overdoes it. Like he could have been probably a little more nuanced in his.
Yeah, I do see that. It's almost so overdone to the point where it feels a little spooky.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like he's in a different movie. Because everything else, I think, is done pretty well. And the ending also just gets weird to me because of where we go. And we're just, I don't know, I feel like the first half doesn't build well to the second half of the movie, that it just kind of feels like there's two. But the second half of the movie, those little insect, like those alien creatures are cool. They're so neat. The mother one was kind of scary. They scared me. Also, one of the side characters, I unfortunately cannot remember her name. One of the women side characters kind of disappears halfway through the movie, and then we just see her again at the end, and I was like, that's a weird choice. But I feel like at the time of its release, there were a lot of people that were disappointed by it. But like I said, it's still a good movie. I just certainly have my gripes with it.
Yeah.
I also think it was too long.
We saw it so long ago that I can't really remember how long it was. I think I ended up giving it a 3.5. And a lot of that is definitely weighted on Robert Pattinson's performance because he was great.
It's 2 hours, 17 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
Or 2 hours, 19 minutes on IMDb.
But yeah,
Not bad. I don't think I will ever forgive how disappointed I was walking out of that one. Unfortunately, I had higher hopes for sure. Moving on to your number 4.
My number 4 is The Gorge.
I have not. Is this the first one where one of us hasn't seen it? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one, so this is all you.
The Gorge is a movie that came out on Apple TV, starring Miles Teller and I can't remember her name. What's her name?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Sigourney Weaver's in it too.
Yes. So this movie, I gave it a 2.5. And the first half of the movie is great. It's very good. The entire premise of it, I think, could have been so much better. The second half of the movie kind of turns into a mediocre sci-fi, and so that's where it lost me. But the dynamic between the two main characters, as they're each sitting across from this giant gorge, was great. I really did like that part.
How are the performances? Good performances.
Yeah. Do you know the premise of the movie?
Not really.
It's basically like...
I know they're on opposite sides of this giant gorge.
It's basically like, I want to say like the United States and like Russia, wherever their land meets or something, there's this huge giant gorge. There's like a base on each side and only one person is stationed in each base.
Did you just say it's where America and Russia
Something like that.
meet? America and Russia don't meet.
Right. It's obviously...
Like in the far future, they've moved together.
No, it's obviously not realistic.
But it's in the past on Pangea.
Oh my God. No? Okay. It's obviously a sci-fi movie. And it might not be Russia, but I can't remember. I think it was Russia though.
It is.
There is actually technically a part where they do meet up near Alaska. It's like this really, I don't think this is where it is, but anyways, this base, and you can kind of tell they don't really know why they're supposed to be there or something, until one night they do. And there's these giant creatures that live in the gorge. I don't remember how they got there or anything like that. Sci-fi part really was lost on me. It's a little too, I don't know, cheesy, non-realistic. I understand it's sci-fi, but still. And essentially, they'll like try to crawl out and everything, and like the U.S. side protects Russia's wall, and the Russian side protects the U.S. wall.
Why are they nicknamed the Hollow Men?
Things. I can't remember how they got where they, like, if they used to be. I don't know. But it's real bad sci-fi, in my opinion. But there's this relationship between the two people because they can't contact each other and they're not supposed to talk to each other. But, like, over time, they eventually, like, work it out so that like they do meet and they kind of fall in love. It's two people alone in the middle of nowhere do, but they're breaking the rules. And then at one point, breaking these rules leads to somebody falling in the gorge. Cue sci-fi creature fest.
Fascinating. I'll add it to my list to watch. I don't have Apple, so I probably actually will never watch it. I need to get it for Severance.
You need to get it for more than that. Apple's really laying out some stuff now.
I've heard.
All right, we're going to go into my number 3.
Which is also my number 3.
My number 3 worst movie of the year so far. Also Ian's number 3 worst movie of the year. Then this is also actually the first movie of mine that is getting under a 2.5 rating. So it is a below average movie for me at a 2. What did you rate it?
You didn't say what it is though.
What did you rate
it? I think I rated it a 2.5.
2.5?
After my rework of my Letterboxd.
All right. And that movie is Jurassic World Rebirth.
Do.
Yeah. I mean, we recently discussed this on the podcast, so go check it out if you want our full breakdown. But it was very lacking for me in terms of performance and plot.
Yeah, not enough people being eaten by dinosaurs for me. It's also just an extremely frustrating movie. Very convenient. The performances weren't that good. Didn't really feel like there was any real tension. There was some.
It was really just the stupidity of the characters. Every time we're at a point to make a decision, they make the wrong decision.
Yeah, that's true.
So just a frustrating movie for me.
Yeah, extremely frustrating. Kind of funny at times. The coolest thing they do, I think, is wasted. That being the genetically mutated T-Rex. And honestly, with all that said, I'll be seated for the next one.
Franchise.
We give them the wrong impression when we all go out and buy money for these terrible movies.
This is true.
But yet we continue to do it. Yeah, not that great. Definitely third worst for me. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, I'll move on to my number 2 then. I'm actually kind of floored that you have Jurassic World below this movie. I can't believe my number 2 is not on your list. But my number 2, which we also didn't cover on the podcast, is Captain America Brave New World. Can't believe you like this movie more than Jurassic World.
So, for this movie, I gave it a 2.5. It's completely middle of the road for me. Was it a good movie? No. Was it a bad movie? Also, no. It didn't frustrate me like Jurassic World did. Were there things I didn't like about it? Sure, but I sat there and I watched it and it was fine.
I lowered this to a 2 for my rework. I do think this movie is probably just as frustrating as Jurassic World, but for different reasons. Does that make sense?
Critical of a Marvel movie.
That's probably fair.
As far as expectations.
Yeah, I would say no. That's a lie. I can't say that. My expectations were actually kind of high for this one. I was excited. Because we haven't covered a lot of Marvel, I really like the darker tones of Marvel movies, which this one was set up to be like a continuation of Winter Soldier, of Civil War. But I was always hesitant because I didn't enjoy Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it was the same exact team, and I feel like you can tell, for me, who didn't like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It just felt, a lot of it just kind of felt forced. There's a lot of just exposition writing that's insanely stupid. Character motivations are kind of all over the place. The Black Widow character hates them, but then randomly decides to trust them at one point. Also, I don't know what the leader's doing. He was the most overcomplicated. That was the most overcomplicated plan. It was crazy how overcomplicated. And then he was like, you can't stop what's coming. And then Sam clearly immediately stops what's coming. It's just it's very frustrating because I think they had a good idea here. But man, did they just not execute. They absolutely kind of waste Giancarlo Esposito. They absolutely waste Giancarlo Esposito in this movie, too, as a random hit man.
True, I will agree with that. Yeah, should have given him something.
Yeah, and he claims, I guess, that we'll see him again, which I don't doubt. But he's Giancarlo Esposito. You got to give him something more than whatever that was.
My biggest hang-up with this movie is probably when we realized that the biggest moment is in the trailer.
Yeah, I wasn't even there yet, but that sucked. The entire point of the movie is Red Hulk being revealed, except Red Hulk is all over the posters and in the trailers for this movie. So then his reveal is therefore less exciting. I'm pretty sure in the third trailer they literally show him transforming into Red Hulk, so it's even less surprising who he is, even though he looks exactly like Harrison Ford. It just, like, it has good moments, because I really like the fight at Celestial Island. I think that's really well done. I also just think, like, he's not a good character, but, like, Harrison Ford playing Thunderbolt Ross. Like, he was good in it, but, like, Thunderbolt Ross is not really a victim. Like, he's a terrible person. But, like, he played it more as, like, this sympathetic character, and it's just, I actually hate you, Thunderbolt Ross. So, no, you will not get tears from me. Also, it has one of the worst post-credit scenes in Marvel history.
What was
Exactly. It's the leader in the raft telling Sam that something is coming, and how will you act when the others arrive? It's the worst.
I do remember this now. It was like the vaguest thing ever.
Yeah, it's so vague.
But also, don't we already know?
And then the director came out and was like, it's the Illuminati. And I was like, no, it is not. I don't believe you for a second. You're just trying to generate hype. But that's not what, no. Because it's so vague. I don't believe. You could say it's for Godzilla coming, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense, because that was the worst post-credit scene. Compare it to, like, the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Like, the actual post-credit scene.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I've seen people lose their minds to the Thunderbolt post-credit scene. And this Captain America one, everyone was like, okay, what? Yeah, so because it has its high moments, and it has, like, a character cameo, and everyone loves their character cameos in Marvel movies now, like, it gets some kudos. But, especially after rewatch, I think it's so frustrating for me, this movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not a movie I would ever rewatch.
I mean, it came to Disney Plus, so I was like, time for I watch every Marvel movie at least twice. So that's what I have to say about number 2. Do you want to do your number 2 now?
Yeah, my number 2 is another movie Ian hasn't seen.
I have not.
Probably will never see.
Probably not.
And it is Another Simple Favor. This came out on Amazon Prime not too long ago. It's the second movie to the first one, titled A Simple Favor, starring Anna Kendrick and what's her face? Blake Lively.
Blake Lively.
Yeah,
Whoa. Did you see the first one?
I did. Yes.
Do you need to see the first one to see the second one?
Probably. It'll probably be even worse if you don't.
I will never see this movie.
The first one actually wasn't that bad. The first one, like, not the greatest movie ever, but, like, a decent movie. Kept your intrigue. You didn't really know what was going on. The dynamic between the two women was intriguing. But this one, this is 1000% one of those movies that just was not needed.
Wow. You've come around.
Yeah.
Ever since I actually explained what I mean by that, though, I think it makes more sense.
Yes. I mean, it obviously was not good enough to be put out in theaters. It was put out on Prime. Not that only good movies are sent to theaters. Like, there's definitely some that are released on streaming services now that are good. But this one, just... I mean, maybe there were some funny moments. You know, I'm still a fan of Anna Kendrick. Blake Lively can be funny sometimes. I know she's been in a lot of heat lately. We don't have to get into that. But not a good movie.
I didn't know it's directed by Paul Feig. I mean, I didn't know this movie existed, but...
The first one, I'm pretty sure, is based off of a book. I don't know that this one is.
That's a mistake.
Right.
You should never take a book and then make up a sequel.
Hence the not needed.
They did not prove that it needed to exist.
Yeah.
Paul Feig directs some episodes of The Office. That's how I know him. So you're wondering why I just randomly said
Okay.
that.
I gave it a 2 stars. Like, there were some funny moments.
He also directed the 2016 Ghostbusters, the all-female.
But, yeah.
And the first one. And the first A Simple Favor.
That's not surprising. They feel a little similar. It's just, the entire plot of this is just...
And the last Christmas movie.
Alright.
That one with, or Daenerys Targaryen.
Emily...
My God. This is going to bother me. Amelia Clarke.
Amelia.
Can't believe I forgot that.
We haven't seen her in a hot minute.
Michelle Yeoh's in it, too. Wow. Anyway, there you go. Paul Feig. But yeah, I probably will never watch that movie.
Can't say I would recommend it.
All right. That's good. Do you want to do your number 1 first?
My number 1 worst movie of 2025.
So far. Do you think anything can pass this, though? I know you had thoughts on this one.
Something could definitely pass this as the worst movie because I gave this 2 stars, but it is a generous 2 stars. But Yes, there could be something worse. Not that I know what that could be. Probably a movie I wouldn't even choose to watch. But yeah. My worst movie of the year so far is The Electric State.
I haven't seen it yet.
Seen this one. It came out on Netflix probably like around March, April-ish. And the premise of this movie could have been amazing. Could have been such a good movie. It was done by the Russo brothers. Also, could have been great.
Who is worth pointing out, the Russo brothers do not have a very good track record outside of Marvel, which I think is really interesting.
That's fair, yes. And like, I can't remember what the statistic is, but this movie had one of the highest budgets for a movie ever. Like, it was insane how big the budget was for this to flop. It's a very dystopian type of movie, and there are good visuals in it. It just
Budget.
$320 million. How much have they made? I know it's a little different because
Yeah, I don't know how they calculate box office.
For comparison, Marvel doesn't even usually put this much into making a movie, and those are box office releases.
I don't know. I can't find that right now.
I just remember the amount they put in being outrageous for what we got. And it's like it's dystopian sci-fi. A girl's trying to find her brother, and so she goes on like a journey, comes across some other guys, joins up with them type of thing. But like, it just was not good. The plot fell through pretty quickly, and it's just such a shame because there were some pretty cool things in it visually, and I don't know why it failed.
I will watch this one. I think it's worth it to see bad movies just as much as good.
I mean, that's fair.
Anything else?
What is your worst movie of the year?
Moving on to my number one worst movie of the 2025 so far is one we did cover on the podcast, and that would be The Phoenician Scheme. I dropped this down another half star to a 1.5 because I thought about it more. And while I like visually what was going on, I didn't like basically anything else with the movie. I think it has a good message, don't get me wrong. I think the way they chose to tell that message is messy and confusing. It can be sometimes funny, sometimes overly funny. And I'm like, that wasn't that funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The style is definitely weird. I still have mine at a 3-star rating, I think. And it'll probably stay there.
I just think it just didn't resonate with me as much as Asteroid City did, and that's okay. So if I had to choose one of the two, I would say Asteroid City for sure. Which is weird, because Asteroid City, I'm pretty sure, does all of the same things that this movie does in terms of how they act and everything. But I think the message of Asteroid City gives that one a step up for me. It's just one I resonated with more. So, you ready to move into our top 5 movies of 2025?
Yes.
I'll go first. All right, so this list will be a little more less fun because we have basically the same movies, except for our number 5s, and then the order of our top 4 are a little bit different.
Also, it probably comes as no surprise that almost all of these movies we have covered on the pod. We'll get there, I guess, when we talk about one of them. Anyway. Give us your 5th best movie of the year, Ian.
My number 5 favorite movie this year is Companion. Have you seen Companion?
Not. It is on my list.
Actually surprises me. I thought you saw it.
It's on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'll probably watch it this weekend.
Companion it's strangely a lot of fun, which is weird. A weird way to explain it. I found it hilarious. And at first I thought I wasn't supposed to find it hilarious. But then I was talking to someone at work about it and they also found it hilarious and they genuinely love this movie. So that's good. It is not listed as a comedy though. It is listed as a science fiction thriller film, but that's okay. I understand the message. It comes across quite well. And I understand the thrillerness of it, although it's not
I think that's how the trailer made it.
Yeah, it's not like a thriller. I was never you know what I mean? Sorry. I think the biggest twist of the movie happens probably too early, but it also gets it out of the way. And also, if you see the trailers, it's actually not a twist, really.
What did you rate this movie?
Oh, I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Sophie Thatcher is incredible as Iris, and Jack Quaid is also incredible. I will say the actor that plays Patrick, that's not what I want to say. Patrick, for me, is a standout character in this movie. I think he is a very tragic story. Not that Iris is not, but I think Patrick low-key kind of has it worse, because I don't want to spoil things for you. But I think it's really good. Like, I don't really know what else to say without spoiling things. I think the performances are well done. It's a little convenient at times, I think. There's some things where I'm like, oh, okay, that was a choice. But
What aspect of it made you give it 4 stars?
the acting, the enjoyability, like I said, I think it's a fun movie to watch. Again, I don't know if it's supposed to be, but I found it hilarious. And I think the story has enough twists to keep it interesting as things kind of unravel. It's a little bit of a mystery at the beginning. Because it's just the way they choose to tell the story, I think, is a strength of it. Because I was like, that doesn't make sense, or I'm confused by how they're telling this story. But yeah, no, I think it's good. My top 5 for sure.
All right, my 5th best movie of the year is one we covered on the podcast recently, and that is F1. I've increased my score from a 3.5 to a 4. I know. But when I was looking at my other 3.5s, I was like, I enjoyed F1 more.
You don't want to talk anything.
Sure.
F1.
What I liked about it the most is probably the driving scenes. Like, they just did those so well with the visuals and soundtrack and everything. I don't know. I just remember being so locked in the whole time, and that makes a good movie for me.
Fair. Yeah, our number 4s are the same.
Yes, they are.
I'll say it. Our number 4 on both lists is Superman.
Man.
Which, I don't know, could be some recency bias involved. We literally saw it on Friday at time of recording this. But I actually think my enjoyment of the movie has increased since Friday, the more I think about it and the more I listen to the soundtrack.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised by your rating originally.
My 4?
Yeah, I thought you were going to like it.
Me too. I think I said on the podcast I was actually a little disappointed by it still, even though I do think it's a really good movie. I also think Supergirl has the potential to beat it, but we'll see.
Well,
we won't get ahead of it.
Can run.
That's kind of true, but
I don't know. We talked about it pretty in depth on the episode. I really liked this Superman movie. The actor's name?
David Cornsweet or Nicholas Hoult.
David Cornsweet is the perfect Superman for me. I really liked the leaning more into his humanistic traits and aspects, and I think that ultimately drove the whole message of the movie, and I liked it.
Nick Hoult is still my standout performer for Mayor, this movie. I just think he's so good. He's so maniacal.
Yeah, we know you love a goodie.
I do. This is like the type of person I want Disney to just make.
I didn't know where you're going with that, but okay.
Yeah. I complain about it every Disney movie, about how it's like generational trauma is the villain now. And I'm like, I just want a villain. And we got a villain here. But, I think it's full of hope. It's really fun. It's bright. It had me smiling the whole time. Really solid movie. Really good.
Yeah, doing great at the box office.
How do we want to do our top 3? Because they are the same, but our numbers are different.
Whichever. We can talk about whichever one for the 3 and 2 first.
Okay, we'll just do this. My number 3 and Allison's number 2 is Thunderbolts.
Wonderful.
I'm not surprised you put this one at 2. I know you really jived with this one.
I love this one. Mm-hmm. I have it at a 4.5. What's your rating for it?
Also a 4.5.
Did it used to be a 4?
Yeah, but I think it was, I want to say I said a 4.5 on the podcast, but it was just wrong on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay.
I want to say.
Maybe after the movie you said a 4, but had bumped it up before we recorded.
Maybe. Because remember, I saw it twice. Because my first time, I really wasn't sold on it, but I was just feeling miserable that day. And then I re-saw it. So it's possible even after my rewatch, I was like, it's still, like, it's a 4. But I can confidently say that it is a 4.5. I do really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, the entire messaging of the movie just really hit home for me, just on a personal level, honestly. The character relationships and everything. I don't know, it's something I feel like we haven't gotten from Marvel, at least in a while, maybe, but I loved it. And I'm going to say this right now, this is our most of all our episodes currently, at the day of recording this has the least amount of views, and that is a tragedy that people aren't watching this.
Thunderbolts has the least amount of views.
Yes, listens. The least amount of listens for our podcast.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, because it's such a great movie, and I mean, I know it's gonna hit streaming beginning of August, I think. So hopefully people that have been holding out finally go see it, and you're gonna be moved, and then you're gonna come listen to this podcast, and then you're gonna be like, man, Allison was right.
It is the second lowest grossing Marvel movie of all time.
It's just insane.
Not
money-wise.
Yeah, money-wise.
Because, like, it has good reviews, because it's so good.
It's not surprising for me because of just the characters that it decided to focus on, but it also needed to be those characters, I think, for it to work. You know, we didn't have the podcast at the time, but I've said since its announcement that it was going to be a home run.
Yeah. I mean, ever since the first teaser, I feel like I was excited about it, but then watching it just, like, fully blew me away.
Hopefully it gets the boost it needs from streaming and people start to really enjoy it. Or maybe when people go see Doomsday, they'll see these characters and be like, whoa, maybe go see their first movie.
Hopefully they'll see it before watching Doomsday.
Hope so. But if not, maybe Doomsday will pull them back in.
Maybe.
If Doomsday's good.
Better
be. Whole nother conversation.
Yeah. It's the number 2 for me. Honestly, my top 3, I think I can think of maybe 1 or 2 movies off the top of my head right now that might give them a run for their money, but I don't know how much they're gonna shift. What else could top me?
I feel like my 1 and 2 were safe.
Yeah, there's just a couple movies coming out in the fall that I know could switch.
You want to talk about my number 2, your number 3?
Yeah, so this movie, again, we discussed it on the podcast, which that one has gotten pretty good listens. And I'm kind of surprised about it. I feel like it came out in theaters, but like not all theaters.
People are probably like, what is this movie?
It is The Life of Chuck.
I wonder how many listens are because people didn't know this was coming or this was a thing. I just wonder. There are a lot of people where I was like, I saw The Life of Chuck this weekend, and they were like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, you're missing out.
So that's why I'm surprised by how many people have listened to this episode.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to know what it was about.
Well, that's true.
I think it's interesting that Thunderbolts is number 2 for you because everything you said is basically how I feel about Life of Chuck.
I mean, to be fair, I gave Thunderbolts a 4.5 and I gave Life of Chuck a 4.5. So, like, they're close. No, honestly, there's few things that get a 4.5 rating out of me and even less that get a 5. Like, 5, that's like a near perfect movie. I don't have many.
You have 1 on the list.
I have 1 on this list. But Life of Chuck, also a very great movie, and I do feel pretty similar. It's just, I mean, Thunderbolts, just personally, with things that I've dealt with in my life, connects more to me. I mean, you know.
No, I'm not blaming you at all. Thunderbolts, while resonating with me, I don't have that deep experience with it. You know, everyone fights their own battles. Life of Chuck spoke more to me because I like to think that that's a good roadmap for how I like to live my life. And like, yeah, I feel like it's a perfect encapsulation of how I was raised and just how I try to treat other people as, as I live my life. It's not as, I think we've done a good job of avoiding spoilers, but minor spoiler alert, I guess. But again, if you're watching this, you likely have seen this movie because we have an episode on it. But like, I haven't seen myself on my deathbed, but like, I still know that death is inevitably coming, and I truly don't know when. So just everything about it, it was magical isn't the right word, but it was just very introspective, I think, the whole time. And I've talked at length about how the ending made me feel, and it just...
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that, like, sticks with you, and, like, you think about it after.
Yeah, not much has made me feel the way. I mean, I think even last year I ended up giving like 7 or 8 movies 5 stars. I was very generous last year with my 5 stars. And I really don't think any of those made me feel the way that Life of Chuck made me feel at the end of the credits. So.
Yeah, it was definitely a great movie. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there were just parts of Thunderbolts that made me sob.
Yeah, totally fair. There are parts of Life of Chuck that made me sob. Here we are.
One?
Yeah, let's move on to number 1.
Number 1, both of us, is...
Probably not surprising.
Probably not surprising at all. It is also our first
episode. The reason we made our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Was because of Sinners. Just for some fun backstory, in case you're wondering how this started, I have wanted to do a movie podcast or a movie something for about a year, and I felt like now was the time to start. Got Allison to come on as co-host because she had been coming to see the movies, all the movies that I had been seeing on a weekly basis. It was after Sinners, we were both standing in the lobby, and I was like, I feel like we have to start it with this episode. Because Sinners, I mean, it just blew both of us away. Along with everyone else, I think we watched it with, really.
Yeah, and this, I think, is actually the only movie that we have seen together twice.
That's true.
Yeah, it was that good. We had to go back again as a group.
With some of the same people and with different people.
Yeah, like, it was so good that we were like, no, you guys have to come with us and watch this.
And of course, the second time we saw it in IMAX, as it was seen. It was arguably better than the first time, which I already gave a 5-star. IMAX would be like a 5.5 stars. No, everything about it, like Ryan Coogler, he just knocked it out of the ballpark. I feel like, obviously, the standout scenes are all well known. The music scene is stellar.
And
but yeah,
this was our first. If you have been keeping up with the rest of our episodes, this was the first one we recorded, so it was a little rough. The audio isn't the best. We have since figured that part out, so sorry for that. And it is currently our most listened to episode. Is that partially because it's the first one? Sure. But it's still pretty well ahead of most of the others as well.
That's cool. That just means people watch that and we're like, I don't actually care about these people giving their unsolicited movie opinions. But Sinners is, for me, a very clear number one. Obviously, Oscar season has yet to really hit, and I'm sure I will enjoy some of the Oscar stuff that comes out. But even last year, I held on to my number one pretty firmly. Did not end up winning the Oscar. It hurt my streak of 2 straight years of the Oscar-winning movie being my favorite movie. But hopefully this year, we go 3 for 4. Sinners is that good. I think it deserves an Oscar.
I fully agree. From every single aspect of movie making, this movie fits the bill, and that they did not skimp on anything. I love when you watch a movie and you just realize how much thought was put into even the smallest of details. Like it's truly like art. It's not just something to make money. Like,
it is art.
They cared about this, and it comes through
all the way through both post-credit scenes too. Like you just feel the passion through that whole movie.
Yeah. And if for some reason you haven't seen this movie yet, first off, second, you should definitely see it. It is streaming now on HBO Max. And if the genre of the movie is holding you back, I think we can both say we are not scary movie fans by any means.
This is not a scary movie.
I know it says that it's a horror movie, which there are some aspects, but it's not the point of the whole movie at all. Just watch it.
Concur. All right, yeah, so we have the same number 1, and basically number 2 and number 3, and number 4. So we like the same things, it would seem.
I mean, no surprise.
Yeah, probably not a surprise.
It'd honestly be kind of weird if they're drastically different.
Yeah, if you watched any of our episodes, and let's just do a fun little recap. My bottom 5 movies of the year so far are 5, Snow White, 4, Mickey 17, 3, Jurassic World Rebirth, 2, Captain America Brave New World, and my number 1 least favorite movie so far is The Phoenician Scheme. Allison, what are your bottom 5?
My bottom 5, at 5, we have Looney Tunes. At 4, we have The Gorge. At 3, Jurassic World Rebirth. At 2, Another Simple Favor, and my least liked movie of the year.
So far,
The Electric State.
And then moving to the best movies of the year, my number 5 is Companion. Sorry, best movies of the year so far. My number 5 is Companion. Number 4 is Superman. Number 3, Thunderbolts. 2, The Life of Chuck. And number 1, Sinners. Allison, what are yours?
My number 5 is F1. My number 4 is Superman. My number 3, The Life of Chuck. Number 2, Thunderbolts. And number 1, Sinners.
So, there you have it. Let us know down below if you think we forgot any of the movies. We'll let you know if we haven't seen it yet or just simply don't have it on any of our lists. Also, let us know what you think of this sort of format, this little bit of a shorter episode. We want to provide some entertainment episodes as well as movie reviews if we have the chance to. So let us know what you think about that. And we'll be back with a Fantastic Four. That'll be our next episode. I'm back from vacation. Until then, thank you all for listening. and we'll see you next time.
Bye.